Yo, what is going on YouTube? Welcome back to episode 71 of the Casual Weebs podcast. Again, another amazing week. We are so sorry that it is delayed by a day, but guess what? We have a week full of amazing videos, all animated related, of course. So not only are we dropping the podcast, like always this week, but we are going in doing our first separate To Be Hero X video. Now, we used to talk about it on the podcast, but there's a lot of stuff to talk about. So we decided, let's just make a video at the end of every arc, kind of talking about it. This arc was Ghostblade. It was sick. If you're watching To Be Hero X, you definitely want to check that out. I'm absolutely loving that series. I'm glad it has carried over into the season and is still dominating, still amazing. There's a lot to go over with that. Amazing arc. But then also, the check-in has finally arrived, and it is going to be a mess because there is like 60 fucking animes that are dropping right now that are absolutely peak. So if you're looking for sleepers, definitely check out that video. So we have a whole week completely packed, and then so much more dropping. But let's just get into this week, this incredible week of anime. Usually I ask you, hey man, what should we talk about? But I got the shirt on. I've been waiting all week for it. We got to get into Kaiju Wave. What did you think of the first official episode of season 2?
I feel like I was super excited for it because they dropped the movie and then dropped the Hoshina's Day Off episode. Yep. So I was itching for this first episode. I think above everything, it really stood out to me. One, Narumi is badass, and they make a good job of setting him up to be like that squad one leader, which I thought was sick. But also the trust, you can kind of see Shinomiya's dad, the director, he's kind of starting to put his trust in the young gun squad that they have. Because pretty much everybody we've been introduced to, they're all new recruits and kind of just coming onto the scene. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Dude, the Team 1 captain is awesome. I love how we're introduced to him, and he's this degenerate. He just has these figurines in his room. He's playing video games. He's I got hit plat. I got hit plat. I got hit plat. Let's go. He's second in command, is kicking his ass, constantly kicking him and dragging him around. But it's awesome because then you see the scene where he's in the helicopter. He's locking in. He just pulls the hair back. He's just looking dope, and then he's just aura farming, bro. When it kind of turns the camera and zooms in, and it's just him just posted up on his sword on that dead kaiju, and he's all I care about is power and results. I was this guy's fucking awesome. Easily becoming one of my favorite characters in the entire series. I adore this guy. I cannot wait to see more. I think not only is he super funny and a super kind of cool and relatable character. How's someone that strong and that cool, relatable, you know what I mean? But then amazing fights. He just aura farms. He's dope. I love his I watched it in dub. His little noises he made every time he got kicked was so fucking funny too. He's ah.
Yeah.
Dude, this really strong guy. He's ah. He just goes flying. I'm bro, it's just so good. I cannot wait to see more of this guy, because of course the old man Kafka is on the team as well. So Kafka and Shinomiya are back on the team. I'm loving it. I cannot wait to see more. I'm just so stoked. What a great introduction.
Dude, yeah, it sets up the season perfectly. I feel like their dynamics will be really good. Obviously Kafka and Shinomiya, who I think have gotten a little bit closer at this point, but they'll still go at it like cats and dogs. And then you throw Narumi in the mix, who definitely has that personality Shinomiya finds annoying. Oh, how is he the first captain?
I can't respect this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Zero respect right away. My guy's Platt. You know what I mean? That's or close to it. That's enough for respect. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Platt depends who you talk to. Still low elo. You know what I mean? It depends on what game we're talking about here.
Does have a job, so
That is fair. Yeah, and his job's kind of important and kind of demanding. You know what I mean? So he gets a pass. Yeah, he gets a pass. But also, let's talk about the rest of his squad. They also looked so sick and so strong. We got a very brief glance at them, when they were pulling up and, to fight this kaiju. But, I cannot wait to meet them as well. They also seem very, very cool. And, so far, Kaiju 8, they hit the nail on the head when it comes to character designs. So, I'm really excited. Especially that one chick looks so cool. Even Shinomiya, made a comment that she seems so strong.
Yeah, dude, just, another batch of characters that, A, look really cool, but I feel like will play a huge part in this. And then also a lot of screen time for, the vice assistant dude who was standing next to Shinomiya. I wonder if he'll come in and be kind of OP, because like I said earlier, everybody's really young. You need some veteran experience when you get into these crazier situations.
Yeah.
Because basically everything we ran into in season 1 seemed to be a normal situation that escalates, or more kaiju appear than they're ready for. So I feel like he'll probably play maybe not a huge role, but he'll be important for the squad.
Well, he also keeps the number 1 guy in check. He keeps captain in check. You know what I mean? Without him, I don't think the machine works. You know what I mean? Constantly have to grab him, drag him out of his room, be hey, there's a meeting. He's yeah, I don't give a fuck, bro. He's it's about Kaiju 8, you're coming.
So good. He's too cool for school, but I think that'll fit in perfectly with Kafka trying to earn, respect and trust, and then Shinomiya obviously trying to be the best. I feel like they'll all clash, but they'll somehow work together well.
One thing I really want to see in season 2, alright? Why did we, again, remember, don't forget, episode 1, we're introduced to, Amina, I think that's her name, and she has the fucking tiger. we still have no idea how she got it. It's not been brought back up. We see the dream in the very beginning where Mina has to like kill him. I think that's her name. I should really have looked that up before because that could be like really bad. But you know, Kafka's girl, right? She had the dream,
yeah, you're right.
the nightmare where she like had to like kill him, and you see the tiger in the background. I'm like, bro, I need to see more of him because like they brought that up in episode 1, and then if you fucking remember, there was like the bath scene in episode 1 at the very end, and the tiger's like in her place. It's just chilling, like they're like it's literally like her like pet. You know what I mean? And it's like it wasn't brought up since because every time we see Mina like throughout season 1 after that, it's not there. We have no clue how she got it. We haven't seen it in combat again. Like, bro, season 2, I want more of that. Bring them back.
Dude, it was such a badass look, like her riding in on the tiger.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they like just give it to us in the beginning of the show, and then I don't even know if they do explain it or like the tiger shows back up. But that was a sick look. Like, hopefully we do get to see that. But I had actually forgotten about it. You're totally right. It was like, oh shit, just drop the tiger for a couple more characters, I guess.
Yeah, because like in the nightmare, like you see him in the background. Like when we just taking the shot, you see the tiger thing. I'm like, dude, why did they like ignore that? Like we got it. And to be fair, I guess we've always seen her like in like the academy, like right, you know, like in the office per se. I guess you can't bring a tiger into the office, but like still, hopefully we do see some like larger fights where she's involved and we see it like in the field. Because like I said, like that was such a cool thing. Like it was one of the things that like really shocked everybody when we first saw Kaiju 8 when we first were introduced to the series, and it was like, oh, dude, like this is unique and cool. Also, gotta fix the ending. No shot. You have an absolute banger like that in season 1. You have the cool visuals, and then the ending in this first episode of season 2, like it was just a black screen with like a different color font for like the credits, and it was some mid song. Like no, Kaiju, you gotta fix that. And OP is one thing, but you have a hot ending like that in season 1. You need that in season 2. It just.
All right, I'm glad you said that because I was like, one, not really feeling the tune.
Yeah.
And it was literally just like the credits scrolling, like no. Cute video or, whatever, like a chibi version of them walking or fighting. Like, we always get a little treat at the end. So I'm like, whatever, turn it off, go to the next one. Then it was like, wait a minute. Better make sure there's nothing after that. And of course, we get a fucking post-credit scene. I'm like, all right, thank God. You almost lost me there. And it was pretty important, too.
Maybe, hear me out. They just, because of that, they didn't put like the official ending, I guess, because it did kind of seem like it was like a default one. Maybe in the next episode we will get something proper, because like, yeah, we didn't have like any like cinematic thing. We didn't have anything cute, like little animation design. Like that was kind of goated in season 1 too. So hopefully they do kind of fix that. But yo, that ending, yeah, what was that? What was that after credits thing? Like the whole ground caved in. It was insane. Like what's emerging from underground? Is that where the kaiju have been living? Like, where have they been coming from?
Ooh, good point. Yeah, like, they always kind of, like, as a viewer, you're, like, reacting to what they see or, like, what's happening. You're reacting and seeing, like, the damage or the explosion. Like, we finally see what happens. It's a huge-ass earthquake. This giant, citywide sinkhole opens up. And that's kind of where the episode cuts off, just this black hole. But that would actually be really interesting. Maybe, like, touch on that in that next episode, kind of like, they're coming from underground or, like, even, Kafka's kaiju, whatever kaiju number 8 is, that little fly.
Yeah.
We really haven't revisited it or them yet at all.
And we touched up, like, back in season 1, only, several episodes ago on the podcast, that, there could be, like, different factions of kaiju. Because we did see the aerial group, right? The ones that attacked the base at the very end of season 1 that came in through the sky. So it's like, okay, like, is there an underground kind of faction? Is there a type of kaiju that is burrowing underground? And maybe they made enough tunnels where it, like, caved everything in. And it was like, oh, shit, you know what I mean? Or is it an attack? So I cannot wait to see, like, what's going to happen in episode 2. It's just because the old man, he's got to prove himself or he's going to get killed. So, like, this seems like the perfect opportunity, whatever it is, to kind of prove himself, like, hey, I'm worth something. You know what I mean?
Definitely. No, I think you're right. I just think the size of that hole, and basically everything we got in season 1, kind of like I said, was like, oh, threat level 6, and then something like level 9 shows up, and it's like, oh, shit. Which I love that about kaiju. Like, always keeps you on your toes, but this does not seem like it's setting up for something like chill, where it's just going to be, squad 1 kicking ass, that's it, back to the video games. I'm sure it'll heat up.
Well, not to, like, spoil anything, everyone even missed it, but, like, Kaiju 8 did drop trailers and teasers, there we go, to season 2, like, super late, like, right before it came out. And it does seem like there's going to be, first of all, some incredible fucking fights, but a lot around Kaiju 9. He's not going. So I cannot wait to see him being reintroduced as well. And does this have something to do with him? Because remember, he's intelligent, right? Like, I think the one episode in season 1, he was looking at schematics at the very end of, like, one of the episodes. It was him, like, in an apartment looking at a bunch of schematics, and he took somebody who had clearance. So is this him? Is this him doing, like, a coordinated attack? Using kind of, like, his shape-shifting abilities? Or, what's exactly going on? But anyways, they had a great episode 1. great introduction to a lot of these badass characters, left a lot of mystery, and gave us some action and aura forming. What else could you possibly ask for other than a better ending?
Perfect.
Credit scene, you know what I mean?
Yeah. A small room for improvement.
Yeah, but yo, speaking of like badass fight scenes, DanDaDan this week. What the fuck was that? That was
Dude,
incredible.
start to finish, that was really fucking sick. And I gotta say, in just like an episode and a half, not even 2 full episodes, the whole like evil eye, I guess like spirit. I don't really know what you want to call them. They possess Gigi, so I'm gonna roll with that, like a
Yeah.
spirit. Super strong, super badass. We said last week like the design with like the kind of like chrome rainbow earrings and stuff. I thought was super badass, but like he's definitely got the strength to back it up too. So I thought that was really sick. And yeah, obviously our man Ken getting it done. Definitely the sickest I think I've seen him fight so far.
So DanDaDan is another anime that is dropping the dub the same time as the sub. So I actually watched it dubbed, but I had subtitles on. So I don't know if they were the same subtitles that you get if you're watching it subbed. Subtitles sucked. Like the dubbed version, it was just way cooler lines. Like Ken had some sick lines where he was just like he like got in an attack and he's like, I told you you were gonna get an ass beating. You know what I mean? Like he was just coming at him.
Oh yeah.
And he was just locked in. Like be like, yo, like you come after Momo, I'm gonna fuck you up. And he just kept reminding him of that. And then just the insane ending to that fight. But you think, all right, Ken's fucked. Like the way that he was just like, all right, I'm done playing around. And everyone does that. Like, all right, time to lock in. Like you weren't locked in the whole time. But then you're like, oh wait, he actually wasn't. Like that thing was like a heat seeker. He could change it midair and then encapsulate him. And it was like, okay, yeah, Gigi was literally playing with this food in the beginning. Like, like I'm so sorry to Ken, but I thought that was it for him. I thought he was chalked. I thought that was it. I'm like, dude, he's screwed. When he beat the fuck out of Gigi, I was like, oh my god, Ken's kind of fucking strong, bro. The push-ups, the ab workouts, they've been working, and like he actually does look kind of like scrawny ripped. Like it's actually kind of crazy. In the one scene, you kind of see it. He does have like a six pack. He is kind of chiseled.
Yeah, dude, he showed up. And like, yeah, it's nice to see all that like personal training is paying off.
Mm-hmm.
I was more worried about him like running out of steam because we've seen him like
Yeah.
fight well, but pretty quickly lose his powers because he like runs out of steam. It was really cool to see him really go toe to toe with Evil Eye and basically not only take like a huge beating as soon as he gets put in that like cursed box or house. He definitely gets beat pretty bad at first,
Yeah.
but he literally fights back and he doesn't like fold at all, which I thought was awesome. And the whole like counting off each punch, I thought was awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Plays like perfectly into the whole speed aspect, but that was so sick. Excellent way to finish the fight.
Dude, it was like so good, and like you're right, because like that is one thing we have to keep like looking out for is that it's like Gigi. What makes him so like powerful is that he has a powerful spirit that has possessed him. So does Ken, but like he also has like insane athleticism, but also his body is like really good to handle the spiritual pressure. Where like Ken still is not. So you're right. It's stamina. It's that duration of the fight that's really gonna matter when Ken is getting shit done. So if maybe we'll see him kind of like extend that throughout the series, but I mean like we have a lot coming up. Like first of all, Ken was just him being a nerd works out. Like him just being smart because like that helped him completely kill the earthworm. The way he like knows these spirits and he's always like, oh well, this is that and this is what we have to do. You know what I mean? This is what they like to do. He knew about the poison, so like his intelligence is kind of come in play. He reminds me a lot of Kafka. The way where he has like some external thing that possessed him, gives him this ability to transform, become a fucking beast, but deep down, like as a human, he's also very fucking intelligent, which makes him really good at fighting. Because Kafka, since he was dissecting those kaijus the entire time, he was really smart when it comes to understanding the anatomy of a kaiju and how to kill and defeat them. But now he's also able to turn into a kaiju and be an absolute beast. Same with Ken. He was obsessed with spirits and aliens and all this other stuff, so he's very knowledgeable at them with them. But now he's able to like turn into an absolute animal and just destroy things. It's like, bro, similar vibes. I absolutely love it. Love both series, love both characters, and we're seeing that a ton in season 2 for each of these series.
Dude, amazing like comparison there. You're exactly right. And in the beginning, like they're kind of like opposite in the way that like Kafka's like the old out of shape guy who's still trying to make it, and like Ken is just kind of like the scrawny like nerd who gets bullies at school, and they end up being pretty OP, pretty legit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you're exactly right. Like their intelligence, and for Okarun, it's kind of more of a hobby, but like that lends his intelligence to these situations, and like Kafka's work dissecting kaiju makes them like a real asset outside of just being like strong anime power guy. You know what I mean? And that makes for like a much like more relatable and I think better written MC.
And I think that that's really cool because like before you kind of get like OP MCs that are just kind of like dumb as shit. I don't want to like out some of these MCs because I feel like that might kind of start some beef. Some people might get offended by that. But like it's nice that you kind of have a. I love him to
Who's the
death.
first one that comes to mind, though? Who's the
Denji.
first one that comes? Yeah, Denji is dumb as shit.
Yeah, and he's like OP, but he's a little goofy, bro. I love him to death though. I love Chainsaw Man. I love him, but like even like low key like Naruto in a way too. Like Naruto,
That was
like
my call.
yeah.
Naruto is a straight knucklehead for like a few hundred episodes. Once he hits Shippuden, he starts getting like more battle IQ, but he's still kind of a clown.
Oh, absolutely, and you just hate but love how sexy no jutsu, like the sexy jutsu works. Like it's when he used
all
it
the
against,
way to the end.
He used it against a god. Like,
even Sakura was like, "Oh my god!" Like that shit was so perfect.
But like, anyways, these new MCs kind of being a bit of both, I think is really cool because it just gives them more like depth. You know what I mean? They're not just strong and they're able to like make a difference in a lot of different ways, which kind of gives them like a huge advantage and kind of makes these fights a little bit more interesting because they're not just like brute force against brute force. It kind of has like the intelligence side in play as well, where you're kind of beating them with strength but also strategy, and we're gonna see that a lot too with like Kaiju 9 and also with what's it called? Gigi, the evil eye. Because I feel like that thing is very intelligent. It's been alive for like how long? Like an eternity, pretty much. You know what I mean? It's consumed so many people and kind of seen like so many people. So like I feel like that is something where it's like you're not gonna be able to take it lightly. It is just very strong, but also very, very smart. I mean, it was able to just completely possess Gigi with no difficulty. You know what I mean?
Now you make a good point too, and like I think it's a better written for like kind of where people's palates are per se versus somebody like Goku or Ichigo, who we absolutely love. Yeah. But it's like more of just like train, get strong, beat the villain. This guy's tougher than me. Train. You know what I mean? And there's not really too much depth because Goku's arguably the dumbest MC out there. Once they put him in Super, they like removed all his intelligence, which I hated because Goku's not actually dumb. He's just kind of a goofball. But we definitely get that with like a lot of DanDaDan, even like Momo. You know what I mean? She was definitely thinking outside the box, like pressure situation, set the house on fire and like force the earthworm out.
Yeah.
Like, all right, that was kind of legit.
But
and then everybody.
The cops show up and like, you set the house on fire? She's like, yeah, duh. It's like, oh, wait.
You could clearly tell that fucking cop was from that family too, with the goofy face. I'm like, no, we're so close. What are we doing here?
I'm like, dude, Momo's gonna get arrested and like they're gonna be trapped like the house on fire on top of them. I'm like, bro, this is a fucking mess. Like, you were doing so well, had such a good idea, but like you forgot the situation where like everyone else doesn't know supernatural shit. You know what I mean? Like you gotta still understand that you can go to jail, you committed a crime. Like you can't be admitting to that to a cop.
Dude, that was my first thing, especially with like that goofy, weird family member. They all come back. It like throws up the family who, I wanted to see him bite the bullet. I wanted to see them dead.
Yeah,
I'll be honest.
Yeah,
but,
same. I was
a happy ending for everybody in the town. Well, not really. The volcano's erupting. I take that back.
Yeah. Everyone's actually fucked, dude. But that's the thing. It's like, what's gonna happen now? Because like, okay, the Earthworm's dealt with. Gigi still needs to be dealt with. The evil eye, and we don't know if like they're gonna defeat it or if like Gigi's gonna be able to tame it. But then also, what's going on with the volcano? Like, why did it erupt? What's gonna happen? Is a bunch of supernatural stuff gonna like emerge because of it? You know what I mean? Like, this erupting is like how do they handle that? You know what I mean? Like, it's not like, oh, you're against the evil eye, well, just fuck it up. You know what I mean? The earthworm, just put it in the sun. For the volcano, like, how do you stop a volcano? Like, how do you save everybody? Like, what else is going to happen? Like, the season's so wide open. It's so exciting, and there's so many different things going on. I absolutely love it. And it also was so funny, too, speaking of that family, is that it kind of, like, hid behind the house, the earthworm, and Momo was just like, yeah, no, fuck that shit, and, like, destroyed the rest of the house. She's like, it's already broken.
Yeah. I love how also, like, that kind of crazy legend or folklore with like, oh yeah, we feed, sacrifices to this snake god so the mountain doesn't erupt.
Yep.
I mean, it kind of did. As soon as they killed the earthworm, the volcano goes off. So I'm like, there was like a shred of truth to that. You just didn't have to keep feeding it people.
Well, they also got it wrong. It wasn't like the earth. It wasn't like the serpent that they were like. They thought the earthworm was
just an earthworm.
Yeah, it's just an earthworm that you made OP. But like they were also right that like it like tamed the volcano somehow. So I'm interested to see like how that all plays out and like the whole story behind that. So I'm still very confused about all of that.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how they deal with the volcano and kind of keep everybody safe. But like what the fallout is, because it'll either be like you said, like an explosion of supernatural and crazy stuff going off, or like, I imagine a bunch of people get saved and then they're like, all right, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah. And like, here's the thing too, like with everything, like with the season where like you don't know what's gonna be happening. Where's our Lord and Savior, the granny? Like where's Momo's grandma? Like, can we get her back? Is she gonna be gone all season? Like, that's gonna suck. Like, hopefully she comes back. All right. Hopefully Gigi gets his powers under control, and the gang fucks shit up. Because I mean, even Ira's gone too. Hopefully she's in this season as well. Like the season's low key missing some characters, so like I'm excited to see where it goes. If it takes place at Gigi's like hometown, like where he moved to, or if it is gonna go back to like where they live. But then also, what's it called? Okay. But also, one thing I thought was really funny, really interesting, was Ken getting stuck. I thought that was like really funny. How what's her face, Turbo Granny was just like, "Hey yo, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall," and he fell in the glue.
As soon as he like walked to the edge, I'm like, bro, you just stacked all these things,
Yeah.
you know, it works perfect. And then he goes tippy toe on the edge. I'm like, nah, man.
No.
He's burnt out from a tough fight. You know, I'll give him a pass here, but I saw that coming, dude. Very funny.
Dude, it was so good. I think DanDaDan, it just, again, it feels back. It feels like that mid-season form. And it's like with every season, like every series that's out right now, you just can't wait for more. You can't wait for next week because these episodes just deliver. They have action-packed episodes that leave you like fulfilled, but then at the same time just wanting so much more because the way they end the episodes is just phenomenal. Another one is Tougen Anki. Like, holy crap, what a phenomenal episode, too. Like, I am really, really, really enjoying the series. I was saying before we started, it's reminding me of Blue Exorcist. Like, but, like, better. Like, Blue Exorcist, you know, you have the whole... It had a more structured beginning where, you know, the OP character loses someone he cares about, so I want to kill something else. Make me stronger to do so. Same thing, just was dragged on way more for Blue Exorcist. Makes sense. Right, but then you have the whole classroom scene. I feel like that they have more students and cooler students than Blue Exorcist did. And of course, like the teacher so much more in Blue Exorcist. I'm not gonna lie, I don't like his brother. I feel like it's so wishy-washy and kind of annoying that the longer the series went on, the more I kind of disliked them. Because like they were boys and then they hate each other. Well, and then he hates his brother, and then they're boys and then he hates him again. So it's like it's really annoying. This teacher I actually really like. I think the characters are really cool. The training atmosphere seems like it's going to be like really, really, really funny and interesting. It also kind of reminds me of like Seraph of the End, that kind of classroom dynamic where you just have a bunch of students that just have all these different personalities, where the interactions are going to be just so funny. But it seems like it is going to have an insane plot, some incredible moments, and some of the best fights. Like episode 2 was awesome,
dude. So good. And I was saying this earlier before we got on, like, I kind of liked how, you know, it kind of starts in like typical shonen fashion. You know, we got the death of the parent figure.
Yeah.
Needs to get stronger, awaken some crazy bloodline, you know, abilities. All right, perfect.
Yeah.
But then basically, like, he gets upped by the teacher, and he was like, all right, I'm forcing you to go to school, but you got to prove that you deserve to even be here. Like, oh, all right. And yeah, like the MC pretty quickly figures out, like, this guy's insanely strong. Like, at first, you know, he's, like, all pissed off, and he's, like, mouthing off to him.
Yeah.
And he, like, calms himself down, and he's like, all right, I gotta actually lock in if I don't want this dude to beat the shit out of me. So it's kind of cool to see them, like, go at it. And I'm not gonna lie, the teacher was wearing on me after a while, talking about, like, efficiency. And I'm, like, thinking, you know, the roller skates, oh, that's cool. Maybe it'll be, like, you know, some super speed ability. He's like, no, it's just to do things efficiently. It's like, all right, this guy sounded like a boss. You know what I mean? Like the dude at work you hate.
Dude, I absolutely love the guy. I think he's so funny, and I think he's gonna have some of the craziest fight moments. Like, it was so funny when he's, like, beefing with the kid. Like, he gets the bloody nose, right? He kind of goes in, and first of all, everyone's reaction to him needing a tissue was just awesome. The one guy's, like, painfully trying to rip out the paper. It's like, yeah, don't. That looks painful. I'm good. The other girl's like, oh my god, I should have brought tissues. I'm so sorry. Was not expecting that from her. But then the one kid who thinks he's better than everybody else, he's just like, you're pissing me the fuck off, dude. And they're kind of like ready to go at it and like kind of fight. And I'm like, I thought something was gonna break out, but then it just shows that they were next to each other, and he was behind, like, hey, how about let's not fight? And they were both like, what the fuck? When did he get behind us? And he's like, wasn't I in front of this guy? How did I turn around? Like, and wait, what? And it's like, bro, like, he's going to be, like, he's so strong. The fact that he's able to just take our MC, turn him around, sit him down, and then be behind him without anybody noticing what the fuck happened is insane. Like, there's something up with those roller skates, bro. Like, there has to be.
Yeah, yo, I was cracking up, and, like, I actually went back to see it. If you, like, cut back to the scene right, like, as they're getting at it before they get put in their seats, the MC is, like, it's a weird pose. He's like laying on the kid's desk with like his feet up and his face.
he's like kind of like posted up. He's like right in front of him.
Yeah, and then boom, they're like in their seats. Like, what the fuck was that? I thought that was really cool, and it was like the perfect example of like the teacher definitely is there to like help them grow, but he is definitely like OP. That's when I was like, all right, he's more of like the OP sensei type character than just like some strong kind of annoying guy. He's legit. There's something up with those skates.
Bro, you know what's up with something is that fucking bloody umbrella. What's this guy thinking he's Engine? Like, I'm so confused. I thought Gachi Kuta got canceled this week. You know what I mean? They thought it was postponed to next week. What's up with this dude pulling up with the umbrella? Every time I see an umbrella now, it's Engine. It is what it is. I saw that. I'm like, all right,
iconic.
All right, I see you.
Dude, I thought the same thing. I'm like, oh, we're just gonna, summer is the season of umbrella weapons. I like that. It's fresh.
And why are they all so cool? Like, bro's just kind of like moving in. There's all this blood. By the way, the whole aspect of like their blood powers, I think, is also just very, very cool. Like, that's insane. And the way that they can like exceed it too much and like end up going berserk in the different ways that they have of like calming themselves down or limiting that power so they don't go berserk. I think that this whole power system seems very, very cool, and I'm very intrigued by it. It was something I was surprised that we got that much information about like on episode 2. You know what I mean? They didn't kind of like ease into it, kind of like experiment and figure it out as they fight, but more kind of like, hey, here's exactly how it is. Let's get into the story. You know what I mean?
I like that a little more too, because with everything going around, and I feel like we've been saying this for weeks, but like, you really got to sink people in. And there's a few animes that have done a really good job of that, but you have a really awesome plot with some badass characters. You still got to like get people in. You got movies coming out. There's a bunch of like really good long-standing anime out. So like as a premiere, you got to rope people in. And I think especially episode 2 did a really good job of keeping me invested and being like, all right, the rest of this season I feel like has a lot of promise to shape up into something really, really good.
Yeah, and speaking of like movies and stuff, anybody else pissed off because they're getting clips of the Demon Slayer movie? Anybody getting them?
Yo, no, you are right. I'm like, yo, like I thought it was a fan animation, but I'm like, yeah, this is way too good. Damn, no, you're right.
Yeah, these fuckers are leaking all these clips of the Demon Slayer Infinity Castle movie, and it looks fucking incredible. It looks so goddamn good. Like, dude, like, and it pains me because the UK is getting it a month before us, and I'm like, you know what? I'll fucking pirate the shit. I don't give a fuck. If it goes to the UK and it's gonna be like dubbed, it's gotta end up on some site somewhere. And if it's on one site out of like billions, I'll find it. Like, I will find it. This is so unfair. It's such bullshit. And after seeing those clips, you think I'm waiting until September? Are you fucking high? Like, no, bro. Like, oh, dude, it's the Doma fight. I'm seeing a bunch of clips. It's so good.
Oh no, I saw Zenitsu's. Dude, the Doma fight is really sick. But like, yo, I would think if you're making it a movie, obviously like the theater revenue is where you're gonna make your most money. Why not keep that all around like the same week even? You know what I mean? Because you wouldn't want it spread out because, we'll hit the high seas if it's available. Like you said, people will find it, and then that saves you the hassle or the expense of going to the movies if that's how you feel. I like the movies. I think it's sick, but like just from a business standpoint, I would think, especially the English releases, you would want to keep closer together.
Well, the problem is too is that like these animes, like they don't drop in every movie theater for weeks or months. Demon Slayer's coming out for 2 days, and it might even just be a single day, and at select theaters. So you might not even be able to go.
True.
Something might come up, and you're not able to go that one day. Or you're not gonna have a theater that's near you. You might have to drive 45 minutes to an hour away to hopefully be able to see it. So it's like it's super inconvenient, and the way they're like, all right, we're gonna span it like all this time. It's kind of like, bro, you're literally asking people. Like, I pay for Crunchyroll, I pay for anime. If I can pay for it, I do, because I have to support it. You know what I mean? Even though the people that deserve it are never gonna see that money, I still feel good about it. But like, you beg, in my opinion, for people to pirate. Like, it's absolutely insane. So yeah. Speaking of the movies, I just wanted to get that off my chest, as I've seen like 10 clips from this goddamn movie every day so far. So it's a disaster. If you guys have seen the same thing, let us know. It is a mess. I'm telling you, it is the most spoiled anime of all time because they leak everything. They spoil everything. Tougen Anki, episode 2 is phenomenal. I cannot wait for episode 3 because like we talk about the 3-episode rule. How people like to give the first 3 episodes, kind of give it a try. Episode 3 is going to be them versus the teacher, and the way that it's set up, kind of getting back on track here, it reminds me of Naruto, of the bells drill, the little bells that Kakashi had. It reminds me of that, because he's testing them. He's like, okay, if I catch you in the woods, I'm detaining you on the spot, right? That means you can just undetain somebody. You know what I mean? You can be a team player, find your friends, undetain them, and then work together to make their way up. Or you can be selfish and abandon them. You know what I mean? Or instead of doing the objective, you can just ego it and fight him. You know what I mean? So it kind of gives the same premise of the bells drill that Kakashi gave to Squad 7.
Oh man, well done.
Is it Squad 7?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fucking good. I didn't even doubt it for a second. I love Naruto. I would, of course, know that.
Go, yeah.
But, like, that's what I cannot wait for. And you're putting that in the first 3 episodes. Like, that's how you're going to hook people. You know what I mean? That's how you're going to get people to really fall in love with it. Again, not an anime I thought I'd be watching this season. One I'm absolutely loving and looking forward to each and every week. It's fucking incredible. Honestly, dude, we at one point, I feel like gotta piss people off and drop, like, our tier list of the season. This Tougen Anki, I feel like I put above some hitters. I think I'd put it up pretty high at this point, so far, based on first 2 eps.
Dude, me too. And like just the premise and the plot really has me invested. And I think in a way it's different because we're just getting it for the first time, had like no manga experience, hadn't really even heard of it other than a friend being like, yo, check it out.
Yeah.
compared to, you know, something like To Be Hero X, which is still killing it. But we've had like a few arcs now. I think Tougen Anki is definitely a hitter and probably one of the better premieres. Like, little biased with Gachi Yakuta, but at the same time, like, I would say it's just as good. Like, there's so much at play, and like that third episode will be really sick because I think you'll see, like, we kind of got a glimpse of it, but we'll really see how OP the teacher is. And like, all right, our characters got some weird personalities and like dynamics. Will they work together, or will they completely fail at like helping each other out? And then the teacher's like, all right, you guys suck, you all fail. Like, that whole like outcome is really exciting. So I think episode 3 will pop off, and hopefully Tougen Anki keeps like getting you know, rising in like popularity.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing like how it plays out. But like I didn't think about it until literally just right now when I made the Naruto reference. But like the MC and that kid who's like stuck up really actually remind me of Naruto and Sasuke. You have the one kid who has very raw power, who has emotional problems, right? Their emotions are all over the place. To get like heated quick, right? They can't really control anything. And then you have the one kid who thinks he's better than everybody else. He's very like strong, he's good, he's disciplined, but like he's full of himself and he thinks he's stronger than he is. But he actually thinks he literally sat there in the chair and he's like, yo, how did he get behind me? Like, he's so quick, the teacher. And then also still thinks he can beat the teacher. It's like, you're delusional. Even without the blood power, the teacher's still gonna fuck you up. So I would love to see their dynamic and to see how it plays out, because like you kind of see it with like Black Clover, like Yuno and Asta have like the same dynamic as Naruto and Sasuke too, but I like it a bit better. So having that kind of like those kind of dynamics, some animes do it really really well, some of them not so well. So in this episode 3 and in this fight, we're really gonna kind of see their relationship, and I'm optimistic. I think it's gonna be pretty cool, because I do think that stuck up kid could be pretty badass. I feel like he could fuck some shit up.
He'll definitely be strong. I think they'll reach a point where it's like, all right, we're both gonna lose to the teacher, and he said, I'm gonna use my abilities if you go berserk mode. So like, either like the friend will have to step up and help the MC, or the MC I think will kind of like mediate and be like, all right, we have to do this together if we're gonna make it out as a class.
Yeah,
which I think is sick.
We have to see the MC kind of grow a bit. Because he even said, he's like, out of all the participants, out of all the people who are here, you're the weakest. So we'll have to see if that's actually true, if he just kind of said to fire him up. But episode 3 is going to tell us a lot, give us a lot more info, and I'm very excited for it, especially because the fights have been absolutely phenomenal and badass. So yeah, shit's going down. I cannot wait. It's going to be, I'm so excited. It's going to be really, really good. So far, this whole week and this whole season of anime has been like, we came into it knowing it's going to be goated. It's like beyond expectations. I'm like blown away with how good everything is.
Dude, and even the stuff we're not talking about, like Takapi's Original Sin, holy moly, that's a roller coaster every week, but just so good. There's so much good stuff popping on. I think Tougen Anki's really gonna blow up, and once Gachi Yakuta comes back next week, I think that'll definitely be hitting too. Get a little more of like the actual cast we're dealing with. So also excited for that.
Dude, I cannot wait. It's absolutely phenomenal. We're eating good. It's incredible. Again, guys, ton of videos dropping this week. We're going to talk about To Be Hero X. We're going to be doing the check-in, talking about a bunch of the sleepers, which will be awesome. And then, of course, next week, we're going to be coming back with the Netflix version, the next Netflix exclusive version of kind of the podcast that we drop later in the week, which we're going to talk about The Summer Kara Died, Sakamoto Days. Oh my god, we want to talk about an amazing anime that's just hitting in all the right spots. Sakamoto Days, it's here. It's fucking awesome. It's incredible. And then The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity. I mean, boys, like romance anime of the year already? Thank you. Oh, let's go. I love feeling crippling loneliness. It's the best on a Sunday night. But listen, guys, there's so much. So if you guys are enjoying that, we hope you guys are enjoying. Like, the anime is fucking incredible. If you think something looks good, just try it out. Just try it out. It's probably amazing. You're probably going to love it. I literally just started The Water Magician today. It's phenomenal. It's like Frieren, but like it's its own thing, and it's great. So hope you guys are having a great rest of your week. Hope you guys are enjoying. And we'll be seeing you guys later.
Yeah, keep watching. You already know what it is.
Alright, later guys. Peace.
Peace.